Good afternoon, movement mavens. Sarah Whitten of Sarah Whitten Voice and Yoga here. And I am here today to talk to you about the connection between your eyes and your neck. If you haven't seen my posts in the last week or so, you may not know that starting next Monday through Friday, I'm running a free program called Unwreck Your Neck. And it's designed for singers. And we are going to delve into the connections in the body that are really important to get a handle on to eliminate, in a long-term way, neck tension and pain. Our cycle tends to be, oh, my neck is bothering me. We stretch, we massage, and that takes care of it for a little while, and then it comes back, and we're back to stretching and massaging. So if you're doing the same thing over and over again and not getting the results that you want, it's time to try something else. So I hope that I'll pop the link in the comments here so you can sign up if you haven't already. But we don't get into this particular aspect of things during next week very much, so I wanted to talk about it here and maybe intrigue you into joining me next week. So your eyes have a big connection to your neck. Now, the muscles called the suboccipital muscles are, if I turn around, there's that knobby point at the base of your skull, and right on either side of that is kind of where those suboccipital muscles are running. So we tend to have shortening there. So we will habitually raise our chin without realizing it. We'll sort of be in a chin up type of position. So what happens when your chin is lifted is that the muscles in your eye are short on the bottom and long on the top because you're used to looking in a particular way. So when you bring your chin level, if I take my glasses off, you might be able to see it a little better. When I bring my chin level, my gaze is actually down. So to keep my chin, thinking about it being parallel to the floor, I have to bring my eyes up. Now, if I did this for a really long time, it's going to be very fatiguing on those muscles because they're having to work. They're having to do work that they're not used to doing. So when you're working on this, if you want to, for a short period of time, think about bringing your chin to be level out of that lifted position that we're in habitually. You'll feel a little bit of length maybe in the back of the neck, and then look up. And you'll find that if you do that for a little while, it starts to feel tiring, and that's your cue to kind of stop and give your eyes a little bit of a break. So your eyes are impacted by what's going on in your neck, but they're also impacting what's happening there. So that working on the imbalance of having that neutral chin and raising the eyes is one way. I know for me that if I spend a lot of time on the computer, period, it will bother my eyes, or looking at my phone, something we all do too much of, or an iPad, if that's what you look at. But if I do any of those things without my glasses, the strain is so much on my eyes that I'll start to get a tension-based headache that lives in my neck. And that's kind of miserable because you don't want that to happen. So when you have a day, now this could also, I think there's a particular impact because of the way the computer screens, the lighting and all of that. And so it can also happen though if you're just looking at music a lot. You know, if you're sitting at the piano for a lot of the day looking at music, your eyes are doing lots of up close work. So another way to address this issue with your eyes that will help your neck is to get yourself outside, excuse me, get yourself outside and pick the farthest away spot that you can, like a tree that you feel like is really, really far away, and look at it. And as you look at it, think about relaxing your eyes. So that working of the distance, you could do it. If I turn here, I'm looking at windows outside of my studio space, and I can see a fair distance. So if I take my glasses off and let's say I've spent the morning, working here and I have a little break. If I take my glasses off and look and just think about kind of relaxing my eyes and looking at those trees, it's going to be helpful for my eyes to do that. It's even better if you can go outside and you get some sunshine on your face, because we all could use a little more sunshine on our faces, particularly in the winter months. It tends to be pretty gray here in New England in the winter. So another little fun trick that you can do is to take your thumbs at the back of your neck, and you're going to find that little bump at the base of your skull, and then kind of on either side, just get a sense of what's the texture of your neck like there. So we're not really palpating on the skull bone, but just beneath it. You might find that it's rock hard. So give yourself a little massage there. I use my thumbs here. And we want to eventually try to get underneath this superficial layer. So let me show you where I am. So here's the bump on the back of my skull, and I'm taking my thumbs and I'm kind of on either side of it, right at the top where my neck is meeting my skull. So if we can get underneath that superficial layer, we're going to leave our thumbs still now and look to the left and to the right and see, can you sense the change in the muscles in the back of your neck? Can you feel those suboccipital muscles doing some work? It is simultaneously super cool and a little bit creepy. So the other thing that you can do that will help address this sort of neck tension eyeball connection. Again, I like to do this without glasses, so you can decide if you want to do it with or without. You're going to just get yourself seated, and you're going to look one way with your head, and then take your eyes and look the other way. And just breathe here. Maybe hold it for 3 easy breaths. And then come back to center. And then we're going to look the other way with your head, and then look the other way with your eyes. And again, 3 easy breaths, and then come back to center. So the reaction that you get in your body from doing that, you might find that as you turn and look, I'm okay looking right with my eyes, but when I turn my head to the right and I look with my eyes to the left, I can feel that tension. I get a reaction in my body that tells me, hey, you might need either less time on your screen, get yourself outside, or be doing some neck and shoulder work that you have been ignoring because you've been working too much. So that's another way that you can work on this eye-neck connection. So let me tell you a little bit more about Unwreck Your Neck, which begins on Monday. This is really geared towards, I would say, older teen singers through adult, people who have lived in their body a little bit. I find that kids who are just going through puberty, sometimes everything, their body as a house is different. So they might have a harder time with it. Not that they can't try it out if they don't want to. But we are going to, every day, there will be an email going to your inbox when you sign up. And there will be a bit of information in the email. And then there will be a movement video that I think they probably run around 10 to 15 minutes long, and things for you to try, connections for you to try making. And I make some recommendations about whether you want to sing beforehand, do the moves, sing after, do you notice any difference? So every day there will be an email like that. And then the other thing that will happen every day is that I will be going into Seeing the Whole Singer, which is the group associated with this business page. So if you haven't joined that, you'll want to join that. And I will be doing lives to supplement what's coming in those emails. So it's going to be a really full week of learning. And I know that it can be hard to get to everything that comes to your inbox in a week. So the videos will remain active through the 31st of January. So you will actually have 2 full weeks to view them. So if you're thinking, oh, next week is just a killer week for me, I can't do it, still sign up, because you have 2 full weeks to be viewing them. And after that, they do move inside the Aligned and Aware movement library, where they're accessible by members always. But we will have a chance to ask questions. On Friday, I'm going to do a live presentation via Zoom. So everyone who signs up will get that link to join me live. I think it's at 12:30 on Friday. And I'll recap the week, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the issue of forward head posture and the voice. because that's another one that I get a lot of questions on. I get a lot of people complaining about neck tension and pain, and then I get a lot of questions about forward head posture. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So spend some time today exploring your neck and your eyeballs and see what you find for a connection. And if you haven't already signed up for next week's Unwreck Your Neck Challenge, I hope that you will do that, and I will see you there. Feel free to pop any questions that you have in the comments. Take care.